Well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being with us today. My name is Mandy Pullen-Barr, and I am a concierge specialist with Vesta. I have probably had the good fortune to speak to many of you over the time that I've been with the organization. And I'm so glad that you could be with us for one of our master classes. This is something that we've started this year, and really to try to give some different type of information to our community, to really help you to start to design the life of your dreams. And it is such a pleasure to have Jaclyn with us today. Jaclyn is a career and mindset coach, but most importantly, Jaclyn is a dear, dear friend of mine who has helped me personally as well as professionally in so many aspects and has really made a difference in my mindset and my and overcoming limiting beliefs that I've had throughout the years. And Jaclyn and I were in business outside of Vesta together, and I had a lot of success due to her coaching, and I'm just very grateful, and our friendship came from it. So
Yeah.
turn
Um,
it over to you, girl.
Thanks. Well, first of all, thank you, Mandy, for that just awesome introduction. And truly like what Mandy just said, I absolutely love her. We have become great friends. Um, and every time I think of her, I always put a smile on my face. She lights up the room, and
Oh,
whether you're on screen or in person, she's lighting up the room. So, and I am so honored to be able to, be a guest and really, really appreciate it. And I want to share, Vesta as a company is just so near and dear to my heart. I'm also friends with Deanna, and I want to share that although I personally have not been through divorce, I have, um, Vesta has the things that they do have actually helped guide me a lot. And, I guess you could say been on the brink of divorce, and which I always sometimes feel like it's kind of always sitting there in a way. That's a whole other story. But just suffice to say, I want to congratulate each and every one of you for being here today and for showing up, because that also takes courage, and everything that you've been through and gone through, good, bad, ugly, and difference. You are here today and ready to make a difference. And so, if you can, just take your hand and pat yourself on the back, because um, it's really important. So, as Mandy said, I am a coach, and I'm a high performance coach. I work with people on their mindset, on, as I love to say, I want to help you get shit done, but I also want to help you get shit done with a smile on your face and knowing that you're moving up in the right direction, and you're moving forward. Yes, throughout our lives, we will always have, ups and downs, but it's how we work through the highs and the lows to help us keep moving forward and moving in an upward trajectory. As I said, I am a coach, and I'm going to be asking some questions. So I really hope that you guys are going to be willing to play and share. And I also really also want to make sure that you understand that everything that we say here, this is a safe space. We are recording it. So I was going to say it stays here, but we are recording it, but it's also stays within the Vesta community. It's not going out. Um, so I want to, before I start talking about stuff, I want to ask each and every one of you a question. And that is, what is one thing that you would like to overcome as a result of your divorce? So, what is one thing that you would like to overcome as a result of your divorce? And if you're open to it, please share and put it in the chat. I'm just looking at Debbie just said um, her social anxiety, thank you for sharing social anxiety and confidence, and body image insecurity, fear of being alone for a while, and falling back to my comfort zone without growing. Gina, that's, yep. Ah, limiting beliefs. Huge. Fear of being alone. Setting better personal boundaries. Huge. So I really appreciate you guys for sharing. Um, uh, yeah, the being the best single mom. Yes. So I don't know if anybody is comfortable, if they actually just want to, if you want to raise your hand, if you actually want to share it on camera and live, let me know if you're comfortable. So I'm not sort of seeing any major hands, but so let's just share. So my true intention for you today is for you not only to walk away with a mission statement, but for you to feel more empowered, for you to have that confidence. And yes, as Mandy said, it is so brave of you for sharing, and I so appreciate that. It takes courage. So again, pat yourself on the back. My goal again is for you to have a mission statement, for you to feel empowered, and to feel that you have a truer purpose, and to know that you are not alone, and that after today and from every day forward, there's upward momentum. So let me just share here. Okay, so you're probably thinking, as you said, before I go, really, I want to share with you, and again, thank you guys all for sharing. I want to give you a little bit more about the background of me, and you're probably curious as to like, who the heck is this woman? Why should we be speaking to her? Yes, I am a certified coach. I've been certified through IPEC, which is the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching. So again, my name is Jaclyn Strominger, and I'm a coach. We're not a therapist. And I want to bring you back to 2018 when I was living in Boston. I live right now in Reno, Nevada, and it's my first time living since 2018 living across the country. So back in 2018, I lived in Natick, Mass, and my kids had some pretty hard issues in the public schools, and so they were going to a private school, and I was driving them. And it was a 30-minute drive. And as we were driving, my kids were chatting, and I was not hearing a word they said. And I used to love this time. But the only thing I was thinking about was basically the drudgery in my life. It was kind of like, I felt like I was living in Pleasantville, but not pleasant. Like it was just kind of like everything was like all the same. And I wasn't living. And I kept thinking, like, how did I get here? And I was truly crying on the inside. But on the outside, everything looked so super duper rosy, like, and great. I had the husband, the two kids, the dog, the nice house, the good career, but I was just so miserable inside. And I was on that rinse and repeat cycle. And so on that drive, something really happened. Something snapped. And maybe it was Katy Perry, because I remember her, it was the um, um, her song Roar was playing. It's like those blazing moments that sit in your head. And I realized I needed to make a change. I needed to leap and start living and stop existing. And I came home from this drive and dropping my kids off. And I started to define what I wanted, not what I needed. It was a huge shift for me. I spent the time writing out my wants, like what did I really, really want? And I started really recreating and creating the true vision that I wanted to have and writing and dreaming. And I spent the time redefining me and finding my purpose. And on that day, I knew things were going to change and I started to make changes. Not everything changed overnight. It was the start of the process. And I really rediscovered my energy, what was getting me going in my drive. And part of my redefining was also that I realized was I had to redefine my family and what we needed, but really what we wanted as a family. And I realized we needed to change our environment. And so changing our environment in my mind meant moving to get out of Dodge. Now my husband was and is a physician, so if we're going to move, he has to find a new place. Like he has to find a new job. So we talked about this. We talked about making a move. We talked about what this was going to mean for us. And in over Memorial Day weekend, so this was March when we first started having this. In Memorial Day weekend, so it's almost, coming up to the anniversary of this. We came out to Reno, Nevada. And if you've ever been to Reno, Nevada, it is not the East Coast. I'm just letting you know, it is not the East Coast. um, but we came out here to explore an opportunity. And it was here that I saw possibilities and really felt alive. We explored the area, we looked at houses, we found one that as a family we all loved. It needed work, and it's a lot of work, but we knew we could make it our own. Now, when we got back to Boston, by the way, my husband's birthday is May 31st and mine is June 4th. And when we got back to Boston, we had a dark and stormy party that we kind of did every year. And our friends were like, "You're not moving." And we're like, "We're moving." And it was like a little bit of a battle, but we did. And we made that decision. We made the decision to move. And every day I kept looking at my vision and my mission and I was working with a coach and how it was all going to come together. How are we going to make this happen? Well, 8 weeks from that day, from the time we came back to Boston after exploring Reno, we were packed up and moving across the country. August 7th, we arrived here in Reno, starting a new life. I'm going to start crying again. I knew I was leaving this huge business behind me. I knew I was going to have to restart. I didn't know a soul. The only person I knew out here was the realtor. I didn't know a soul, but I knew that this was the right thing for us as a family. And it all started with the mission, and it all started with me truly becoming that CEO of my life. And that is where I fell in love with doing that for others and helping people take control of their life. So that's just a little bit about me and how I got here. So the things I want to share with you today, everything that I'm sharing with you is part of my coaching program, the Unstoppable Success 1% Edge. And it is really powered by this LEAP method that I created. And the LEAP method starts with leveling up that communication, and leveling up of communication is really crafting the communication that we say to ourselves, which is our mission and our vision. And then it's also the communication that we share out with everybody else in the world. It's our energy. Our vibe attracts our tribe. And so it's helping people to define and figure out where they are and where their energy is every during the day, and also under stress. I use something called the Energy Leadership Index Assessment, and it is one of the best tools. One of my clients, that I'll just share a little story with her about her. She has a great business. She's also divorced, and she realized when we did the ELI assessment with her, she's a high 4, which is very compassionate, super heart centered, which is amazing benefits. But at the same time, she realized she wasn't setting boundaries, which was hurting her personally and professionally. So energy is a huge component of what we do. Action. Well, you've got a vision, you've got a mission. We have to put it into action and create a plan, and we have to put it forth. And then we have to propel. And propelling is something that you have all with Vesta, which is your community, your network, because it does take a village for you to move forward. Life is not meant to be done on your own. And it doesn't necessarily have to have a mate by your side. As I teach my daughter every day that she needs to go forth and live her vision, the rest will follow. Finding your journey and your path will bring the people to you who are supposed to be part of your tribe. And Vesta, is an amazing community that helps start that. That's your network and who you communicate with. And then we look at performance in the program. And performance, as I kind of say, it's MMA, right? MMA is fighting, but it's also you're fighting for what you're doing. And we're always looking at measuring and monitoring and adjusting. That's what MMA stands for in my book, because we're adjusting our vision and we're adjusting the course, because life is highs and lows, right? And so we have to zig and zag. We have to go up and down. And the only way to do that is to MMA. So through my coaching, I've helped, again, lots of clients. As I shared, my client, Jennifer, who was at level 4, and working with her and seeing her growth is, to me, that's like my MasterCard priceless moment. So today I really want to share, there's lots of components to this, and we could go on and on and on, but I really want to look at 2 big components today. So where do we start? Actually, it's really one huge component that we're going to do, but we're going to kind of talk about a couple different things. So, where do we all start? And how do we start to become the CEO of our life? And how do we unlock our potential? It does start with our vision. It starts with a mindset. And the vision is what you want to accomplish, and the mission is the general statement of how you are going to achieve your vision. Our mindset is also fueled by the mission statement. And if you think about, I like to think of it about a chain, right? We have that vision, and then it's connected to our mission, and then it's connected to strategy and to the goals, and what's weaved into that is our achievement code, which is our core values. And it's all tied then, as we're going towards our goals, it's also tied to happiness. So you may be thinking to yourself, like, am I talking about achievement codes? Because achievement in that is really important. Your values that make up you is your achievement code. And so I take my clients through a process of finding their top 10 truly key codes that they want to live by, and that for the people that they want to bring into their life. Now, once we have that, we can start putting together the goals that tie back to that specific mission and vision. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this. How many of you guys believe that Albert Einstein was a pretty smart man? Right? His hands, right? Pretty smart guy. Well, he said, if you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. I just love that because so many of us, and I could be one, I was one of them. I tied my happiness to to things, and it's really tied to the goals and to me and my heart. So once we have our vision and we have our mission and we start creating the goals, those are really big statements of the needs that we want to accomplish, that we want to, and we want to put that mission into action. This is where your calendar and time management and your energy really come into fruition. It's managing your resources, because how we feel about our mission is going to be projected. And it's, again, I love that saying, our vibe attracts our tribe. Or if you want to think about when Harry met Sally and she's sitting at the, in the deli, right? You know what she's doing, right? And that woman says, I'll have what she's having, right? When we are managing those resources, which is our time and our energy, a lot of things fall into place. And it also goes into the finances. Now, I could talk a lot about in detail, a lot more about each and every one of these, but I wanted to share with you that your calendar really is your best friend. You need to be able to use it to not only to put in the things that are the most important, your non-negotiables, like birthday parties, anniversary, events, meetings that you have, for work, like things that are non-negotiable. But you also have to put in there the things that are going to align with what your mission is. And if you write down your mission and you look at your calendar, and if everything on your calendar has nothing to do with their mission, you need to start to delegate, or ditch. Like, ditch the things that don't serve your mission. This is where we get to manage our resources and say a really big word, and it's no. Small word that packs a big punch. No really is your best friend when managing your resources and following your mission with what you want to accomplish. And again, we talked a little bit about that energy, understanding your energy and where it comes. As you're looking at your day, we all want to look at the end of our day and be like, yes, I did it, right? You know, you got your top 3 things done, or you're working towards them and you're really moving things forward. So it helps with our mental energy when we're looking at managing those resources. And the other key part of that is, which is really important, is making sure that you're actually, to help with that mental energy, is making sure that there is some time on that calendar for you. You matter. You have to put something on your calendar for you. What fuels your soul? For me, I'm an exercise goofy person. I will tell you that when I get up in the morning, I know that I have to do something physical to move my body and to sweat, because I listen to the music fuels me. I like good music. I realize I'm in the 70s and 80s. I'm a 70s and 80s girl. Yeah, I'll take some stuff from the 90s and 2000s, but give me some great 70s and 80s music, Foreigner, AC/DC. I'm happy. It fuels me. So do what is going to fuel you and make the time. I started meditating recently too. I've added that in. 5-minute meditations are really powerful. Exercise. Maybe you're somebody who likes to color or dance. Do something that's going to fuel you. And it doesn't have to be the same thing specifically every day, but fuel you. It really matters. Now, I wanted to share a quick little thing because I want to talk a little bit about a kind of a goofy thing that really does matter. And that is a little journal. Because as you're going through this and you're managing your resources, you can write things down, but what's really important about this is what I love to use this for, to carry in my pocket, is for two things. When I start to feel that mind shift or that negative energy or something negative shift in, I want to write it down and be aware of it. Writing it down creates awareness, and as you become aware of what you're thinking, you can have the ability to change it. But we need to be aware, and that's why having this little journal in our pocket or having something that you can write down really matters. And when it comes to, and I want to touch on this for finances because um, it really makes a difference, is having one of these little puppies for everything that you spend. When you take your wallet out or you take your credit card out or you slap your phone down on the reader now, or maybe you're at Whole Foods and you're one of those hand people, like I'm not, but you pay with your hand. That's too mission impossible for me. Write down what you spend, and I will guarantee you're going to hate it. And because you're going to hate it, you're not going to take your wallet out or your hand or whatever. And you'll start realizing, like, is that something that I really want to purchase? Do I really need it? And it's going to, again, create awareness in your spending. I have my kids do this right now. It's so important and impactful. Again, this is all about creating key awareness in our life. Okay, so this is where we're going to get into something that's a little interactive. Okay. So we started with that LEAP process. I talked about LEAP, the L, which is leveling your communication, energy, the E for energy, A for action, that propelling, making that community and propelling you forward, and performance. Well, I would love for each and every single one of you to grab a piece of paper. We're going to do a little exercise today. Now, just a quick show of hands. Does everybody have a piece of paper? Just once you have it, yes. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So we all start. Now, the words on here are not going to matter just yet on this screen because you're going to have your piece of paper handy. But to start this process of becoming the CEO of you and unlocking your potential, it starts with that beginning, which is our vision and our mission. So I'm actually kind of curious if you guys, before we start, I'm curious, has anybody crafted their own mission or vision statement for their personal self? Just put a Y in the chat if you have. Awesome. We definitely have people who have. Angela, Mandy. And I have to share, when I did this exercise, I had crafted my own mission statement before, but doing it this way, the way I'm going to do it with you guys right now, changed a little bit of how I did it. Okay. So I want to share with you how powerful this is. So I did this with, I work with a coach, and I did it for my coach. Like, he took what I'm going to do with you. And it was so powerful for him. He actually changed the direction of how he was looking at things in his life. And he, every day we talk, he's like, you have changed my life with doing this. So, again, it's pretty powerful. All right. So you guys ready for this? All right. So I want you to take your piece of paper and I want you to make 4 columns. And you can kind of like put a heading on it. You're going to have 4 columns, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You're going to need space because you're going to have to be writing in each of the columns. They're not tiny columns. Okay, so when you've got your columns done, just a quick show of hands, maybe like who's got them. Okay, got people that got their columns. Great. Okay, so in column number 1, I want you to list 3 things that you want most out of life personally. I want you to list 3 things, and I'm going to see if I can copy this. Yep, I can. Column 1. I'm going to put that also in the chat so you can see it. Column 1, list 3 things you want most out of life personally. And when you've got those 3 things, just put a 1 in the chat so I know that you're done. So again, list 3 things that you want most out of life. I should have put some music on. I feel like we should be like, ooh, Terry, thank you for sharing. Terry says financial security, family and friends, confidence. Beautiful. Okay, so that's our column 1. If you still need a little bit more time, I just keep thinking about them. Right? I know I was thinking the same thing. You need the Jeopardy TikTok music. Okay, in column 2, I want you to list 3 things you would like to experience from or in this lifetime. List 3 things you would like to experience from or in this lifetime personally. And again, when you're done, just please put a 2 in the chat. Any singers out there that want to pop on and sing? Tick, tick, tick. And we're just looking at what do we want to experience from this lifetime? Okay, so keep writing if you have, but I'm going to move on to column 3. In column 3, I want you to list 3 of your unique gifts or strengths. What are your unique 3 of your unique gifts or strengths on a personal level? You could also do this. I do go through this with my clients also on a personal and business level too, but we're talking personal here. So what are your 3 unique gifts and strengths? And when you have your 3, please, put a 3 in the chat so I know you're done. Debbie, you know your strengths. So Debbie, what you want to share what your strengths are?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
I got it's resilience, persistence, and creativity.
Oh, I like this. One of mine is connecting. I'm a connector.
You want the music back?
Yeah, put the music back on.
Sure. I found Jeopardy. Let's try it again. Can you hear it?
I can't hear it.
No?
It's like a little fade.
It's a little bit vague? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I love this. Okay. So thank you guys all for putting your numbers in there. Okay. So last column. Okay. Now this is going to, this might take a little bit, but, I want you to list 3 positive improvements or actions that you can undertake in the next 2 weeks. And it needs to start with the words I can. And then I'm sure you guys guessed, when you are done with your 3 I can statements, put a 4 in the chat. We got Catherine and Jen and Debbie. Mandy's got hers. Lise. Okay, so Now this is going to be this is where we got to really dig a little deep. So right now, I want you to look at your 4 columns and I want you to circle one word, or in the case of the 4th column, one saying that means the most to you right now.
One from each column, Jack.
Yeah. So one word, basically, I want you to circle from each column.
Okay.
That means the most to you. Oh, I like that, Debbie. You can focus. I can dedicate schedule real time, and I can permit myself to immerse enjoyment. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so when you've got your stuff circled, just put a D in, or a C, actually. Let's just do a C because that makes the word for circle. Put a C in the chat. Awesome. Okay, so once you have your word circled, this is where the Mad Lib comes in and you can actually look at the screen. We're going to change that I can to I will. So you take whatever you circled in your 4th column and you say, I will, and you have to write out, insert the words from column 4. I will, whatever you put in column 4. And then you're going to write using my, and then insert the words from column 3. So I will insert from the words from column 4, using your strengths and your gifts to accomplish what you circled in column 2. And then you're going to write, and in doing so, also achieve the words from column 1. So when you put this all together, you would have added in an I will, using my, to accomplish, and in doing so also achieve. Who's got a statement that they would like to share? Debbie.
Oh, I was just typing it out. Okay, it worked out perfectly. I will permit myself to be immersed with enjoyment, using my persistence to accomplish success, and in doing so also achieve prosperity. I love it.
All right. Who else wants to share? Raise your hand and please share in the I was going to say in the comments, in the chat, in the chat. Yep. I love it. I love that. How does that make you feel, Debbie?
Happy and like that first step, the a journey of 1,000 steps begins that first step. So, so thank you.
You're welcome. So Felice, just give me a thumbs up if I can read it out loud. Okay. So she wrote, I will plan financially using my resilience to accomplish financial independence, and in doing so, also achieve purpose. Oh, I love that. How did that make you feel? If you want to, you can happy to unmute if you'd like, if you're open to it.
It makes me feel focused on kind of that goal, to kind of focus on that, and some of the other things that I have on the list, be okay with, putting that off for now, some of those things off for now, so that I can really zero in on this task.
Yeah, it does. When I did this, the first time I did this, I personally, I was really blown away by how it really did make the focus. It does put you, it takes all the other stuff and kind of puts it in there. Anybody else wanting to share? Or if you're done, just put M in the chat. So one of the things that I love to have people think about is to really just spend a minute thinking about what you've just identified and think about what you wrote. And to really think, take a minute to think about that. So here's my question to you. What is the first step that you want to take to start moving into that mission? This first step, and I'd love for you to share, like when you're thinking about what you just wrote down, and if you can share, what is the first thing that comes to your mind now that you've written that down? Catherine, thank you for sharing. That simplifies things. It's more tangible. Yes. I would love for you guys to each celebrate yourselves right now and pat yourselves on the back and just be excited that you have now taken mindset. You said, I feel in charge versus a victim, right? This is that first step of unlocking your potential and knowing that you are on the right path. This is your mantra. This is your mission. This is what you read every day in the morning when you get up in the morning and you're drinking your coffee. I love having my clients take this mission statement and put it on a Post-it note or put it someplace where they're going to see it at least 3 places. You're brushing your teeth. Stick it on that mirror, on your calendar that you use every day. One thing is, if you're a user of Canva, make a screensaver on your phone so you read it every day. And that mission is front and center. It is the start to a great new journey. So no matter, I love that. Angela, you said, I will meditate using my empathy, intuition, and connection to accomplish inner peace. And in doing so, also achieve financial independence. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love it. So I want to applaud you guys for sharing and taking this step and writing this down. And you guys are so lucky to be part of an amazing community with Vesta and having, Mandy and Deanna and the entire Vesta team. So because you guys are part of Vesta, I have opened up my calendar for 5 spots. Actually, I think there might even be 7. If you are ready to get that first step done, you've got this step. Let's work together on the rest. If you're committed to making that next step, I'd love for you to write down in the chat, first step, I'm ready. Just, and know that you are living and being empowered. Terry, you're ready. Love it. Love it. We got our fists up and we are ready. I feel like we're going. So if you want to take that step, scan the QR code right now. Get one of the dates on my calendar.
Looks like Debbie's ready too.
Debbie's ready. Love it. We are moving.
And so is Angela.
Oh, Terry, you said you're stuck on your unique gifts. Terry, I'm going to ask you, grab a spot and let's work through those. Each and every one of us has unique gifts. And I will tell you, sometimes it's hard for us to figure out what they are because of what's up here. And we need to come from here.
All right. Looks like Terry's having trouble with the code, but she wants to make sure she gets a spot.
Yeah.
Gina is also ready. Awesome.
Oh, I'm so excited for you guys. I want to thank each and every one of you for being on here. And I want to share with you, and I'll probably cheer up a little bit. I am going to cheer up. So, I just recently redid this whole process of creating this again with for my family. And I did it with my daughter. It's empowering and it feels really good to take these steps. So again, I really want to applaud you guys for that. If you have any questions, I want to really be cognizant of our time. I want to thank you guys all for being here and for showing up and being here for yourself and showing up for yourselves. I really want to thank Mandy and Vesta for allowing me to come and speak. And I'm so looking forward to connecting with all of you guys after.
Thank you so much, Jaclyn.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.